All right, Matty Gugas here again in St. Augustine near the county offices. Getting a day train for you. This one should be the 105, getting in position to leave. I'll watch these signals until that top left one should turn green. Stay tuned. All right, we got action. It's hard to see the green and the bright light. Another beautiful day here in St. Augustine, Florida. But I think if you zoom in, you can see it. I got about 35 minutes till that train gets here. Stay tuned. All right, here comes the train. I see it made the corner there just north of the airport and hit the straightaway. I'll check back in when it gets a little closer. All right, it's blowing the horn at Big Oak Road, so thought I'd come on a little early so you could hear that. You'll hear it again. I'm a little ways away from Lewis Speedway, but you'll start blowing the horn for the Lewis Speedway as he approaches. There's got to be trash cars from Miami. I haven't seen them. I don't know if they're new cars, but I'll confirm that. Big train, every train is big now in Florida. More people now. I've lived here 31 years. There's more people in Florida now than I've ever seen. It's almost has made it unpleasant at times because I moved here when it was quiet. But anyway. There you go. I don't know if you could tell. I think you should be able to tell. Watch that train at the beginning, and then they've let off the gas. Again, for lack of a better professional term, but they got to slow down through downtown. So he's already let off the gas. Throttled down, I'm told, is the right terminology. See you next time. All right, now that 105's gone by, I can film the local coming back. This is facing north towards Jacksonville. All right, I hear it coming already. Just blew the horn at that crossing where I filmed where that job works down to Elkton. This is not the local. Well, it's a rock train. Sweet, over the bridge over the San Sebastian River right here, and just outside of downtown St. Augustine, Florida. There's that new paint scheme. Let me well, I should say an empty rock train. Rock does move both ways. We ship a lot of limestone out of Florida, but we need gravel, granite, all kinds of rock that you can't get here in Florida. I don't know, that might have been the local, just with extra power because of the a number of rock cars they move today. Here you go. Okay, Matty Gugas here at 1 a.m. in Jacksonville. I haven't filmed this train yet. I know that's kind of bright. I'm gonna pan around to the signals. This is the 101 with a 2200 cutoff, 10 p.m. I haven't filmed this train yet. I'm gonna get in a better position. I'm gonna talk about cutoffs for the people who don't understand or didn't work in the railroad. All right, so Matty Gugas again. I'm gonna film that train 101 here at my usual spot of late near the county offices in St. Augustine. All right, hopefully you can hear that. That's the horn at the Big Oak Road crossing north of me. I'm adjacent to the, just a few steps north of the crossing. In my usual spot of late near the county offices in St. Augustine. It's nice and bright right here. You can see that flashing light there between the sign and the equipment box. That's at 9th Street. Long lead in, but that's why I'm doing it. Give you the full effect tonight. This is not the 101, this is a rock train. Well, wait a minute. It's gotta be the 101. A lot of manifests. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm thinking. A lot of rock, a lot of manifests on this train. Here comes the intermodal. Something missed the cutoff. And there you go, not a huge train tonight, but a good bit of manifest. All right, Matty Gugas here again, today in Jacksonville, Florida, at the spot where the Florida East Coast Railway crews the trains pulling out. That signal configuration is for the 105 that's rolling down here. Here, I'll switch around. And zoom in. You can see the light for it rolling down here. Stay tuned. I'm going to film it pulling out today. I've been having trouble catching these northbound trains in St. Augustine. They come through at such different times of day. That block of cars there, obviously one of them. I zoom in with binoculars, I can see the Freddy on the back of it. For those lay people, the Freddy is what they nicknamed the safety light. It's on the back of every train. It's a large, bright, blinking light. Anyway, you can see the 105 rolling down here. I'm going to film it a little more. All right, getting closer, but not close enough. The reason I click back on is you can see the Freddy on that end of that train blinking again. They must be pulling these cars up further, pulling this train up further. If you zoom in, I can see it with the naked eye. I can't see it on the camera, but you got to be able to see it when you watch the video. Alright, well, I was going to film the train doing the slow roll down here. They almost always stop and wait for the fresh crew. It's, they do have hours of service in railroad for train operators, conductors, and engineers. So I know this run here from Jacksonville to Miami pushes the limit of the service, hours of service. So that's why they put a fresh crew in it over here usually. But we got a green signal now, as you can see. Maybe for once they crewed it up there near the south end of the yard operations. Alright, so you can see it's coming off the, I don't know if they call that track 2 or siding, but I decided to run down here and film it at the crossing. You can see the train switch over to the main line. They must have crewed it up at the south yard or the main yard operations offices today for some reason. That's all good. This is a different scenario. We like different. Same gets boring. Boy, that slow roll. I can see these lights from miles. I'll talk about the yard. The intermodal, the rail yard here in Jacksonville is both intermodal and manifest. The north end is where the intermodal operations occur, which is where the gate is, where the intermodal containers and trailers in-gate. If that train's a mile and a half long, then that intermodal yard is at least 3 to 4 miles from here. And when they roll down there at slow speed, it takes forever. As you know, as you can imagine, they don't want to get going too fast. If they're going to stop right about where they are now, but I don't think they're going to stop today. I hope they don't, now that I ran down here. If you can hear that, there goes a couple of F-18s or F-24s flying together going back to Jack's Naval Air Station. I know the F-18s are the Blue Angels. I think they've upgraded most of the planes to F-24s now. Alright, so false alarm. They just turned the lights off, so they stopped there where they normally stop. So I'm going to walk back up there. Alright, so there's the crew car with the fresh crew getting out. I'm not going to film them too close, but, and again, yeah, I'm going to move back down there and film it coming up that siding. Alright, so there goes the yard engineer. He's down out of the lead locomotive. He's getting in the car now. He stayed up there in a little bit today. I don't know if there's an issue. These guys are going to have to milk all the way to Miami, or just normal train operations. Maybe they had a safety briefing or even a prayer while they were up in there. Stay tuned. The saga continues. The yard engineer came back, so I didn't see him get out of the car yet, but I might have been looking in the other direction. Anyway, I'm going to film this train no matter what time it leaves. Right, so the lights are on. We're ready to go. Let me zoom out a little bit. There's a multitude of things that can go wrong, but the primary concern is the brake test for you lay people again. So these, the brakes on these rail cars are operated by compressed air, just like a truck, a trailer truck. Okay, the truck pumps air through the system to the brakes, and that makes the brakes come on. Same thing with a train. Each time they build a train connecting sections or blocks of cars in the train, they connect the air lines, and when they get done building the train, the air is tested. So even the last car, or all cars, brakes are operating. I'm going to shut up here as gates are going to start operating and the horn's going to start blowing, I think. It's going to be a slow roll. I've seen some of these guys. They pull out here and then they get going pretty quick. But I've also seen where they just roll out of here. They should be hitting track speed. Probably that straightaway up to Bayard. There is a little downhill. I know Florida, east coast of Florida is mostly flat. There is a downhill just over my shoulder, south of me. All right, here we go. I'm gonna step forward just a little bit so the camera's in the shade. And so he's coming up that other track. I'm not sure if they call that track 2 or the siding or at this point in time, but you'll see him. So you'll see how the railroad tracks work. Okay, sorry, readjust my hands. All right, here we go, powering up. The 105. Florida East Coast Railway Intermodal morning cutoff to Miami. Horn's going to be loud today, folks, because he's going to be right next to me. All right. Footage of everything this summer. Alright, quite a bit of manifest today. Including they gotta be garbage cars. Including a big block of garbage cars. Yes, I've said this before, they move trash on the train. Just a tad. In this case, it's from South Florida, Miami, up to some landfill in Georgia. I know there's an entire trash train, I've said this before, leaves Selkirk, New York and goes out to Indiana somewhere. The entire train is trash cars. If I'm wrong about this and anybody knows, let me know, but these cars with the white tops coming out, they gotta be trash cars. I can't think of any other commodity that would come on here on the Florida East Coast that would use these cars with tops on them. Not in this quantity. They don't smell. That's what I picture. An entire train of trash. I don't care how tight those tops are. It's got to stink, right? It's got garbage in it that's freaking days, not weeks old. All right, big train today. So these are empty cars going back, no doubt. Only 2 locomotives for this big train today. Again, it's flat, but you got a lot of cars here, but not much weight. Alright, so a lot of manifests today, and there's the intermodal. So the reason they have a cutoff, I talk about cutoff. Okay, so they can only make these trains so long. Florida East Coast used to keep them about 9,600 feet. I've seen trains like this one that push 2 miles, but no longer. You make them any longer and they don't fit where they 2 trains can pass each other. This is one track primarily from Jacksonville to Miami, and those trains can pass each other. Let me zoom out some more. I don't know why it's looking like it's not focusing. So they got to keep them at a certain length. Plus, they got to eventually say, all right, we got to move this train. So this train, for example, is 10 a.m. cutoff. The Florida East Coast tells everybody, customers, you can engage these containers, trailers, until 10 a.m. and we'll guarantee they get on this train. Anything after that? Well, if they have room, they might put, I know they do for UPS, some more stuff on this train, but generally go on the next train. Okay. Meanwhile, they got to keep building the train. All those trailers and containers that just went in the gate at 10 or 9:45 have to be lifted on the train and secured. So it takes a while. Then they got to put the sections of blocks of cars together, do that brake test I talked about, and then crew the train and go. So it's hours before the train actually leaves. In this case, we got a late train today. It's almost 2:30 p.m. But this is a big train today. All right, there you go, folks.